are these people?
More joy and happiness. The dangers of authorizing local and state cops to enforce immigration laws. And this is from Arturo Dominguez over at Decolonized Journalism. Good independent journalist. He writes for Unicord Riot. He publishes elsewhere. He's got a Substack too. Photo by Brett Kavanaugh. And I don't think that is the Supreme Court justice, but it might be on Unsplash. And that certainly looks like a cop dressed up like a stormtrooper. And again, he says the DHS is invoking a law known as
stormtroopers dressed up as cops.
The DHS is invoking a law known as 287G, allowing local and state police to enforce immigration law. And I'm sure that our Republican friends will go, "Fuck yeah, America, get them." That's not what we're going to say.
Calm
here.
down. Put it. Just push it down. It'll be okay. Think about grandmothers.
Are you done?
What?
In 1996, then President Bill Willie Jefferson Clinton signed the Illegal Immigration Reform and Immigrant Responsibility Act into law. The legislation made broad changes to immigration law, having an effect similar to that of the 1994 crime bill, thanks Joe Biden, by criminalizing migrants and creating barriers to asylum that have proven harmful to refugees.
American bullshit.
Steaming. The results of the law are credited with creating a private migrant detention industry that's booming today. CoreCivic is one of the large organizations that profits from that privately. The IIRIRA, God, that's a pain in the ass.
Wow. Yeah, the IIRIRIRA.
The IRIRA
Jesus.
also added section. They also added Section 287G to the Immigration and Nationality Act, authorizing immigration and customs enforcement. That's our friends over at ICE, not friends.
Yeah.
To allow local and state law enforcement agencies, or what they call LEOs. He's got all the jargon in there.
Law enforcement officers.
Right. The authority to perform the duties of immigration officers. The section has 3 operational models administered by ICE enforcement and removal operations. That's ERO, jail enforcement, warrant officers, and task forces. According to ICE, jail enforcement is meant to identify and process removable migrants with criminal or pending criminal charges who've been arrested by local and state law enforcement agencies, that's LEAs. The warrant service allows ICE to train, certify, and authorize LEOs, that's the cops, to serve and execute administrative warrants on migrants in their agency's jails. And the task force serves as a force multiplier for law enforcement agencies to enforce immigration law during their routine police duties. Okay.
Stop! You violated the law.
Last week, ICE declared that the agency will begin the aggressive recruiting of law enforcement agencies for the program based on Trump's executive order titled Protecting the American People Against Invasion. This order...
We can go after immigrants, but we can't find any of the clients on the Epstein list to arrest. Okay.
Well, we already know who's on the list.
Yes.
The order required ICE to authorize the 287G program, quote unquote. And despite the Trump claims that President Biden ended the program, it was never stopped. While Biden scaled it back, he continued using the program despite his campaign promise to end it. Historically, 287G has been riddled with problems stemming from its abuse by racist sheriffs and police officers. In 2022, the ACLU released a report titled License to Abuse, How ICE's 287G Program Empowers Racist Sheriffs and Civil Rights Violations. They literally wrote a fucking report about this.
I like it.
The report
I
showed...
like it better than anything else.
Well, she does.
No.
Why did it do... That went to the wrong
probably
place.
froze.
That one, no, it went to the speakers. It didn't go to cable. I know what I did wrong.
Serenity now!
Here, let's try that again. Thanks for the reminder.
I like it better than anything else.
Now it will work just fine.
Pretty good.
So the report showed, this ACLU report, racial profiling, poor jail conditions, and civil rights violations were widespread among 142 law enforcement agencies in the program at the time. That's not good. That's not good.
Agencies.
Not officers.
Not just individual officers.
Agents, right.
Agencies.
When they say a cab, they mean a cab.
Like, how many agencies are there in total?
Well, more than 142, I can tell you that.
Clearly.
Because 142 participated in the program. The ACLU noted that 65% of law enforcement agencies had records exhibiting patterns of racial profiling, and 77% of them were running inhumane detention facilities. Yeah.
Of course they are.
The report also documented that 59% of participating sheriffs had records of making anti-immigrant statements, and that sheriffs often, quote, villainize immigrants as threats to public safety, unquote, by overemphasizing their immigration status in the news media, because it helps get them money.
Don't lie.
It helps get them money.
It really does. It also helps them push for re-election, because we got to take care of the immigrants. Gotta get them out of country. Go back to your country. God, we live in a fucking cartoon.
As terrifying as things are for immigrants in the U.S., whether illegally or not, this news doesn't bode well. And since Latinos are the core groups being targeted, it means even worse racial profiling and harassment, not just from cops, but also from citizens who are already treating many of the Trump administration's actions as a green light to target us in public with both verbal and physical attacks driven by hate. Of course.
I can't understand you. Go back to your country.
According to
Fucking
ICE,
awful.
it's terrible. All right, like we talked about, look, Arturo also
Seven
reported...
Sword Mary over on Rumble says that does apply to Ukrainian immigrants. I would bet not.
Yeah, probably not.
That's what I would bet.
But then again, I think he just announced that they're deporting a bunch of Ukrainian immigrants that were here.
Okay.
So maybe.
Okay.
But according to ICE, again. All right. The agency has signed jail enforcement model agreements, GEMS, with 72 law enforcement agencies in 20 states, warrant service officer agreements with 123 law enforcement agencies in 16 states, and task force model agreements with 107 agencies in 12 states. Just think about how much that could expand to 50 states under Trump. The American Immigration Council has a great 287G explainer here, and he links that there. And, of course, Arturo is an independent journalist, so support independent media, support independent journalism. He also has Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, paid subscriber to his...
coming to a Substack newsletter near you.
Yep, he's over there on the Flubflex. And then again, he's a writer also at Unicorn Riot, The Antagonist Magazine, Latino Rebels, and he's on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Mastodon, Threads. I don't know who's on Threads, but okay. And he also does, like, he's been doing some live vertical videos here too over at Substack Notes, which is where I first met him.
Wow.
Good dude. Good dude.
Yeah.
Again, he was also reporting on the Venezuelan migrants being sent to Guantanamo Bay, as well as Andy Worthington in that article that we read last week. So I wanted to give him... No. That's a.
No, Mr. Superman, he knows he's here.
Technically, Superman would be an immigrant in this case, right? An illegal alien.
Like he's literally an alien. So
they're among us, man.
I don't know if I agree with that, Cookies. The whole immigration thing was not an issue when Biden was president. Nah, I'm gonna have to call that out. It was.
It was. It just we covered it. Pause.
No, there was.
Go ahead. How Biden made it much harder to immigrate, and actively deported people more so than. I mean, it's just like Obama was deported. It's just the liberal media just doesn't tell you.
Yeah, but I'm also going to talk about what about the plane flights that the Republican governors sent plane loads of immigrants up to Martha's Vineyard. All right, they sent plane loads of immigrants without coats to Chicago in the middle of winter and let them off in the middle of winter to freeze. They did the same thing to New York, and then there was a lot of money apparently that was being diverted from FEMA toward housing migrants, and there was a lot of money being diverted from other agencies to housing migrants.
Where's the money, Lebowski?
Again, it was a continuation of Trump's immigration policies that Biden had done, but it didn't make the problem go away. They certainly had migrant caravans that were crossing illegally at the border. Biden continued to build Trump's border fence and play into that narrative. They sent Booby Kennedy down to be a fucking border shill himself and do a whole photo op with the Border Patrol in Arizona. I think this has been one of their issues for a while, man, and they're setting it up.
Inconceivable.
I was just watching a movie with Wallace Shawn in it today. He's such a fucking G. How do you not love that guy? If you are able and of means, please support the networks and support the independent media that you want to see. The best ways to do that are via Cash App, $, Indie News Network, ko-fi.com/Indie News Network, and paypal.me/Indie News Network. You can sign up for newsletters and alerts at innnewsletter.com, and that's totally free. You can also support with an annual or monthly contribution there, too. Support independent media because we need it more than ever, fam.
Bye, have a great time.
No! We just fucking lost the stream!
Can't keep giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your heads. Why play civil if you won't listen to 50,000 dead? And now we know our mission, we form a militia, make Congress a prison. No, I play civil when all these dead won't make you listen. What's more American than slaying your oppressors? What's more American than liberty or death first? God, I thought we were founded on abolishing the tyranny of those who would starve a village all to live empirically. And I regret that I have only one life to give for my cause now that I can see the cause so clearly. See, I want our leaders, regardless of party, to fear me.